Hello, welcome back to TayRadio, everyone. I'm your host, Annalie Reyes.
And I'm your co host, Santi Hernandez.
And your co-host, Javier Vicuna.
On today's show, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day, the history behind it, what's the meaning for a lot of people, and kind of give our opinions. But before we do that, I'm going to hand it off to Javier, who's going to give us the quote of the week.
Quote of the week that I chose is, every one of us needs to show how much we care for each other, and in the process, care for ourselves. So this is a quote from Princess Diana, who you may know died in a very tragic car crash, but she was the Princess of Wales. Um, and I just really like this quote because uh, it really reflects on how I personally feel about Valentine's Day, and about knowing your self-worth and showing that you care for everybody else. I think it's just a wonderful quote. I'll go into more detail throughout the show and discuss more about my thoughts on Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Javier, for sharing your quote of the week. I like the quote as well, and I'm excited to talk more about it later on in the show. We know that Valentine's Day has passed, but we're excited to talk about it and learn more of some interesting facts and information from Valentine's Day. We do hope that you guys spent a good day on Valentine's Day, whether it was with hanging out with friends, family, your loved ones, or yourself. But we'll be right back once we play the PSA.
Are you in an unhealthy relationship? Are you a victim of a crime? Need someone to talk to? Well, the Victim Witness Program is able to help you by giving you the support and help that you need to be safe. You can call the Victim Witness Program at 415-473-5080. Again, the number is 415-473-5080.
Welcome back, watchers and listeners. We hope the PSA was helpful. We will continue the show by first talking about some history behind Valentine's Day. There's very different versions of the history of Valentine's Day because there was 3 saints that were named Valentine. But there's one that is most known. The version is the 3rd century of Rome, when a young men were not allowed to marry because they were the best fit to be soldiers. And this order was asked by the Emperor Claudius too. But Valentine, he was a priest, and he would secretly marry young people because he thought it was unjust of this order that Claudius did. But he got caught, and the emperor ordered his death. Most of the versions are known of Valentine as being a man who is romantic, sympathetic, and heroic. So there's more information about that if you want to read more about it on history.com. It talks a lot about history of Valentine's Day. And like I said before, there's not a certain fact about the origin of Valentine's Day, but Shakespeare and Chaucer romanticized the work, which gained popularity for Valentine's Day in Britain and the rest of Europe. It was very popular during that time where there is poems and Shakespeare as well. And especially Romeo and Juliet. The one gift that was very popular was handmade cards. And I have something to note later on that I will be discussing later. But I'm gonna hand it off to Javier. He was gonna talk about the meaning behind Valentine's Day.
So the meaning behind Valentine's Day is really it's a day dedicated to couples or people who share affection for each other, to exchange gifts and express each other's love. Items that are associated with Valentine's Day are red hearts, romance, flowers, candy, cards, and other sweet things that are meant to show affection for one another. Recently, however, these Valentine's traditions have been transferred over for people who are just friends. So it doesn't always have to be romantic. And it always doesn't have to be about someone else either, but we'll get into that. But still, the traditions of Valentine's Day to show appreciation and love for their friends has now been called Palentine's Day. So pal and Valentine's put together, Palentine's Day. It's become pretty popular on social media as a trending hashtag. And I think it's a great idea because I think there's always a lot of pressure put onto people to maybe ask someone out or do something like along those lines. It always has to be like, I feel that Valentine's Day doesn't always have to be romantic. And Valentine's Day is a great way of celebrating Valentine's Day without making things, I don't know, potentially awkward. But it doesn't matter if you choose to celebrate Valentine's or Valentine's Day because fundamentally they are both the same in which you are just, expressing love, just either romantically or non-romantically. And love nonetheless is a good thing to spread to others and yourself. But I'll pass it on to Santi to see maybe some observations or how her Valentine's went. And yeah.
Thank you both for sharing. I know we celebrate Valentine's Day. It's a very common holiday. So just getting to know a little bit about the history is very interesting and helpful at times. I believe that in 2021 and this year and the past year, it's been all very different for our holidays that we celebrate as a community and everything. So one of the observations that I noticed is my brother, he's currently not in the country. And one day before Valentine's Day, a girl comes up and she hands my mom a box. And in that box, there was strawberries with my name on it. It was very cute. And my brother, it was his way to show love towards me as his sister. And so I just realized that a lot of people during 2021 and 2020, they had financial struggles. So what they were doing were finding things to do to make extra cash. So what I noticed was this is a high school senior who's doing this, and she has her bakery for strawberries, and she made a special collection for Valentine's Day. So just observations like that I noticed that were very different from our regular ways to celebrate Valentine's Day. And so she wasn't the only one that I noticed. A lot of people were promoting different types of pastries that they would make for to sell on social media. So I have a tradition where I like to give Valentine's Day cards to my family. And to me, Valentine's Day is not just for a significant other. I love to give Valentine's Day cards to my brothers, to my parents, to my grandparents, if I get the chance. And this Valentine's Day, I just did it to my parents, since the distance and all that stuff. But just a reminder that you don't need to go buy the most expensive gift to show your love to someone. You can do with simply writing a letter. Annalie and I, we've talked about this so many times before on the show, that just writing a letter is just so meaningful to someone and showing how much you appreciate them and how much you love them. So this is what I recommend to all of you, is not just on Valentine's Day, but do it any day that you can. When you have 10-15 minutes to do something special for your family, just do it. Because sometimes we just do it during holidays, and in reality we have the possibility to do it any time of the year. So that was just an opinion that I have and what I do on my Valentine's Day, and just an observation about the bakery and pastry sales that have been going on throughout social media. And now I'm going to hand it off to Annalie.
Yeah, I agree that it's not only one day. It's like you can do it, show your love for your family and friends and your loved one every time you get the chance to. I have seen that there has been a lot of sales in business for Valentine's Day. Like people buy chocolates, balloons, flowers. It's become like more of like creative gifts, and some are expensive. But just like I mentioned before, in the past it was just a handmade card, and I feel like that like brings a lot of value, especially what you write is something honest, and like you're really trying to show your appreciation or love for that significant other. I do remember in school, like in elementary school, where I would give out candy for everyone in my classroom, and it was pretty nice giving that out, because like you showed that you cared for your classmates. And it kind of is different in high school and middle school, because like you have more than one teacher, but it just like, I don't know, it just reminds me that it's like you can do it with your friends and family, that you can just give candy and show your appreciation as your friends and family as well. But one of the observations that I saw on Valentine's Day, I was actually working on my other job, and I saw a lot of the flowers were like running out on the same day on Valentine's Day. So it was kind of crazy how like everyone was like doing it on the day of Valentine's Day. But yeah, it was nice to see that. It was a cool observation from my part. I don't know if Javier has any cool observation on what he did on Valentine's Day.
When I was picking up flowers on the day of, there was a huge line at Safeway. Not just because of Valentine's, but I think it was just because people were also going to celebrate with a dinner or something, which I think is another great way of celebrating Valentine's Day, is kind of just, having a dinner with your family, your loved ones, and thanking, everyone and the whole thing, like just being there with your family and knowing that everyone's safe and everyone's doing okay, or supporting each other through tough times, I think is great. And yeah, it was busy, but I mean, it's bound to be busy. And uh, other than that, I mean, I always like the next day of Valentine's because all the candy's discounted. So you can always buy the discounted candy after for a really good price. But I mean, those are just the observations I've seen. It was very busy on Sunday overall.
Yeah. My coworkers actually said that Saturday was the most busiest for them, but that's probably because it was the day before Valentine's Day. But yeah, it does get busy during the weekend. We will be playing a song we hope you will enjoy. It's by Crepe, and we'll be right back.
Yo, CeeLo killed this shit. Yeah, she made me heartless. She hopping in the mosh pit. Yeah, she made me wanna drop. She made me wanna lock it. She wants my mind, I lost it. She wants my heart, but it's rotten. Yeah, I got a black heart, I'm a rock star. Running out of patience, baby, I'm not a doctor. Running past my enemies, but I think I lost her. Stuck up in the clouds in my thoughts, I need to talk to her. Talk to her. Talk to her, it's a massacre. My mind's starting to blur. Yeah, I need to find the light. Spent too much time in this darkness. I was so low, she told me she's my mistress. I was tripping out, all I did was listen. Rolling up again, I know I'm a misfit. You fucking with my mental, please keep your distance. Yeah, stay away. You bring me so much pain. You a demon, I can see it in your fangs. I can't think cause you f***ing with my brain. I'm starting to feel sick, but I can't feel shit. Yeah, numb to the touch, but the emotions are blue. I'm in the clouds, baby, I'm about to trip. Yeah, I'm about to flip. Yeah, she made me heartless. She hopping in the mosh pit. Yeah, she made me wanna drop. She made me wanna lock it. She wants my mind, I lost it. She wants my heart, but it's rotten. Yeah, I got a black heart, I'm a rock star. Running out of patience, baby, I'm not a doctor. Running past my enemies, but I think I lost her. Stuck up in the clouds in my thoughts, I need to talk to her. Running through this maze, backward to the face. I don't feel phased, but I've seen better days. And I wish I can go back, and I wish I could.
Welcome back. The artist you were listening to was by Crepe. You can stream his music on Spotify at Crepe. And if you know or are a local artist, please send us a message on Instagram or on Facebook via TayRadio Marin to be mentioned on the show, or can be a guest on the show as well. But we left off talking about observations and what we did on Valentine's Day. But Javier will be talking more about self-love. So I'll pass it on to him.
Thank you. So I think that Valentine's Day can be celebrated in a number of ways that can benefit not just others, but yourself as well. I know that a lot of people get sad or upset, especially on social media when they see a lot of couples posting their Valentine's Day celebrations online. But let me tell you that nothing beats loving yourself, period. This connects back to my quote that I mentioned earlier. I believe that self love is vital to our well being. Personally, I struggled a lot in finding my self worth while in the early years of college. And Valentine's Day seemed just like another holiday for me to just be sad. But you shouldn't have to look at it that way. And realize that there are people who love you and care about your well-being, and show those people the respect and love you have for them on Valentine's Day. It doesn't always have to be romantic, and I hate when people make everything have to be romantic on Valentine's Day, because that's like kind of that's the, I mean, I know that's the tradition of Valentine's Day, but there's so much more to Valentine's Day than just shooting your shot. Honestly, you can use Valentine's Day as a holiday to give appreciation and love to those who have helped you, and or to even check on people you really care about and making sure that they're doing okay. The whole point is to spread love to those around you and knowing your self-worth. Even if like reaching out to people that you haven't talked to in years, or looking out for people, especially right now since we're in a pandemic, everyone's kind of been struggling with you know keeping themselves sane and healthy with their mental health, and self-love is connected with mental health. Because if you don't end up loving yourself, how are you going to love anyone else if you don't love yourself, right? So um, I mean, it's just kind of realizing the fact that you are someone, knowing your worth, knowing that no one but yourself is stopping you from doing what you want to do. I think is a really important thing to know, and use Valentine's Day as a day to show your appreciation and care for those that have helped you, or just reaching out for help too. I think is a great way of using Valentine's Day to, just make a better you. But that's what I have to say about Valentine's Day and self-love.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning about self-love. Like I was like kind of interested in like sharing information about ways that you can achieve self-love. And I suggest processing your fears. Just like learning how to face your trauma can help you like become more confident about yourself and trusting yourself as well. And also allow yourself to make mistakes. I know it can, like you can be hard on yourself because you make mistakes, but sometimes it's good to make mistakes to learn from it, and become a better person. Um, and also don't worry about other people's opinion. It's your life, it's your decisions, and it's at the end, it's your responsibility of whatever you choose to do. So just have fun, don't like try to make your life hard, and speaking about that, like don't be afraid of letting go of toxic people. Like their negative thoughts can catch on to you, and then you'll be thinking about negative thoughts, and that's not what you should do when you want to live like a happy life, or at least have a life that you would enjoy. But I did wanted to ask you guys, like, what are some of the things that you guys do for self-love?
What do I do for self-love? The main thing for me is taking care of my body. I have learned over the years that my body does so much for me, and at times I feel like I take advantage of how much my body does. And so we work, we do certain things that we have to do at home, and we're constantly so busy, and we drain our minds with so much things to do that we don't take the time to be like, oh wow, I'm this amazing human being and I'm going to take care of you. And that, to me, how I show that is by working out. And like I tell my mom, I do my best not to have the mentality of, oh, I need to work out because I need to lose weight, or I need to work out because I don't look good. I tell her, over the years, I've learned that I work out because I love myself, because my body deserves to have some physical activity, and my heart needs that, the blood pumping in. And so I tell her that's why I work out. And that's what I always try to keep on my mind. It's I'm working out because I love myself. And when I'm eating the food that I'm eating, I don't think I've changed my mentality. Like I said, over the years, I used to think, oh, that's going to get me this, that's going to turn into that into my body. But now I just think, okay, what does my body deserve? My body deserves fresh foods, whole foods. And that's how I show self-love to myself, and just taking care of my mindset. I think you mentioned it, Annalie, getting rid of toxic people. Even if that hurts you, you're like, I just don't want to let go. Just doing small things like that, letting go of things that don't do good in your life, is taking care of yourself. And so taking care of your mind, because your mind is with you 24/7, and so you need to take care of that and make sure that what you're letting in is good stuff, and that will help you. So that's how I take care of myself. Javier, what do you do?
Ways in which I, learn, like, I guess, love myself is I treat myself, like you said. I think it's important to treat your body, and being active, and, just riding my bike outside every day, and being able to just kind of like breathe the air in and breathe that fresh air in really makes my body feel great. Because another thing about self-love is, like you were saying, Santi, is if you're not connected with your own body, then you're not going to be connected. You're not going to even progress in loving yourself. So I think it's very vital for you to take care of your body. And other things that I tend to do is just kind of buy things that I've been wanting, right? So if I just save up money, I create goals for myself. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this amount of money to buy myself, I don't know, this computer part or something. I really like building computers. So uh, for me, anything that will add happiness and no toxicity to my life, whether it be something that I buy, something that I eat, people that I talk to, all of that must be in a way that will benefit my mental health and make me a happier person, and not, do anything that will really cause me to be toxic or add toxic thoughts to myself. But yeah, those are ways that I would give myself self-love. But Santi is gonna move us on and talk about some Valentine's facts.
I actually wanted to add one thing, because like I just thought about something else. But I really liked how you guys talked about working out. But I also wanted to add that, like, if you are like really tired and exhausted of like doing so much work, allow yourself to take naps. I think I sometimes enjoy naps when I need it, and it just helps refresh my mind. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add. But Santi, you can continue on.
Yes, thank you. Really good ideas, and we could go on and on about this. And part of what Javier and we were talking about earlier was about what you can give, what gifts you can give. And fun fact is that Americans spend around $20 billion on Valentine's Day gifts. That's a lot of money. And Americans spend around 140 million Valentine Day cards that are sent out to different people that they want to give cards. And in 1861 was the first chocolate heart box was introduced, which is something really cool. And I thought that was amazing, that I didn't even know that. And then nearly 6 million couples get engaged on this day. Crazy. And so part of why it's $20 billion that Americans spent on this day is because most of that is spent on jewelry, so engagement rings and stuff like that. And then there are different ways of celebrating, and I wanted to mention 2 ways that I found that were interesting. So Latin America, they have 2 names for it. One is El Día de los Enamorados, the Day of Lovers, and then the other way they call it is El Día del Amor y la Amistad, so Day of Love and Friendship. So what they do, Latino communities, what they do is hold big dinners for their families and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I do. I didn't mention this earlier, but my uncle, he called us for a dinner, my mom's brother. And since he's the oldest, he has 3 sisters here. So he made a dinner for his sisters, and it was just a way to celebrate the day of love. And then, so in Japan, it's known that the female is the one to be the person to bring gifts to the man, which was so interesting. However, on March 14th, the men, that's the day they would like repay what the women got them. I don't know if that makes sense. So like kind of like Valentine's Day is for the women to give to the men, and then on March 14th is the day that the men would give to the woman. So it's kind of interesting. So part of Valentine's Day is it's celebrated different. That's the beauty of culture, is that you have different ways of celebrating it. So that's all I have, and then I'm gonna hand it off to Annalie.
Thank you, Santi, for giving some interesting facts. And I did wanted to tell you guys that one other interesting fact, which is, well, there's like a lot of people that celebrate it in the United States, but it's also celebrated in Canada, United Kingdom, France, and Australia. And one of the famous world's most romantic destination is Verona, Italy. It was like a scene in Shakespeare for Romeo and Juliet, and there's like a lot of love letters on the wall. If you've seen pictures, you'll see. And there has been competition on who like wrote the best love letter, and they have festivals and musicals. So again, this is another representation of what other cultures do for Valentine's Day. So I just think all of them are interesting, and I hope you guys all enjoyed your Valentine's Day. But if there's anything else that you guys wanted to add before we do end the show.
I think I'd just like to reiterate something that you said earlier about self-love, is to really block people out that are making you feel uncomfortable or are not making, if you're hanging around people that aren't, supporting you in what you do and not really checking in on you as much as you are on them, and they're not giving you basically the love back that you've been sharing with them, then completely cut them off. There's no point in trying to fix a friendship or a relationship where one person's giving more to the other. It's just not going to work out. And I highly recommend, if you're in some type of relationship that's like that right now, I recommend just, looking at the relationship and just knowing your self-worth. It really is all about self-worth. But yeah, those are my closing thoughts.
Thank you, Javier. I just want to say, learn to love yourself, because you are the only person that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Learn to love yourself, and we appreciate you guys for watching the show, and we want to say thank you, and that it really means a lot to us, to whoever is watching. We do our best, and we try to do our best to bring the best shows to you guys. So thank you very much, and I'm going to leave it off to Annalie.
All right. Thank you guys for your last words, and thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Just a reminder that you're beautiful and that you matter.